Yo, Nemi Gang. So today we're taking a look at the top 5 most unpopular characters in Tekken 8 Ranked. Now this is not like my regular videos on character popularity. I wanna dive a bit deeper on the more unpopular characters in Tekken 8. Show some love to the characters no one is using in Ranked. Now, disclaimer, I always have to put a disclaimer. This information is coming from ewgf.gg. These guys have been around for quite a while. They put out data concerning stuff like character win rates and character popularity. So this information is not coming from Bandai Namco. Just keep that in mind and take this information with a grain of salt. It might not be 100% accurate. So with that said, let's get into it, boys. Okay, so coming in as the most unpopular characters in Ranked, I'm pretty sure everyone knows this. We have the Bears, Panda as the worst, at the bottom of the bottom, and then Kuma just above Panda. So for that fact, I will not add Kuma and Panda in the top 5 list because everyone knows this, bro. These guys are super unpopular, so this will basically be a top 7 list. So the Bears, bro, the Bears. No one just takes the Bears seriously. That's the problem. Namco has never taken the Bears seriously, and for that fact, even the players don't take the Bears seriously. And due to that, not many people really just care about the Bears in that sense. So maybe if Namco showed a bit more love to the Bears and stopped them from being a joke in every single Tekken game, maybe they would see some actual play. Now, Kuma and Panda are slightly popular in tournaments, right? But in Ranked, yeah, no one plays the goddamn Bears, bro. You rarely run into Bears in Ranked. Kuma in particular had quite a decent start to Tekken life, bro. He had a very sick storyline with Paul, bro. Like, Kuma's early storyline with Paul was actually goated AF, bro. Like, it was so good, that rivalry. But as usual, Bandai Namco just fucked it up, bro. I don't know why, but somehow they messed it up. I think if Kuma had this ongoing rivalry with Paul and it was super serious, bro, like, people would have shown a bit more love to Kuma, man. Like, let's be honest. Like, that storyline was sick. And the idea of Kuma being Heihachi's pet, like a tamed bear as a pet that does martial arts and does electrics in Tekken 8 is sick to me, bro. It's sick to me. I actually love Kuma, dude. I love this bear, but I just can't take it seriously. Like, even when I'm using this character, I'm like, okay, why the hell am I using Kuma, bro? The character just feels like a joke, does not have the same satisfaction I get from playing characters that have like mad aura, like Raven, you know. I don't get the same feeling when playing Kuma. And I think for that fact alone is why you don't see that many people playing Kuma as well. But not just that, even just the Bears in terms of strength are not that strong. They're big bodies, they're slow. No one likes big and slow, or at least majority of people don't like big and slow, and that's why you just never see people play the Bears in general. But at least this one is a bit obvious. Everyone knows the Bears are they just know it. Okay, Panda is even way worse than Kuma, dude. Panda is in the slums. No one gives a shit about Panda, bro. No one gives a shit about that cutesy stuff, and Panda is just left in the slums. Why these guys have 2 slots on the roster, I have no fucking idea, bro. I have no idea. They're always taking up slots. They want to take up slots in my top 5 list right now, but fuck that, bro. Screw that. I'm going to take Panda and Kuma out of my top 5 because everyone knows these guys are always at the bottom in terms of popularity. So it just makes sense. Bears are the most unpopular characters in Tekken 8 Ranked. Okay, so coming in just above the Bears and as the most unpopular character in Tekken 8 Ranked, if we don't take Kuma and Panda into consideration, is Shaheen. This one is another obvious one. Shaheen just does not have aura, bro. Shaheen is not him. Everyone has given this character a lot of shit since his introduction back in Tekken 7. A very bland character. He has fucking white bread personality, bro. His story is not intriguing. The way he talks is not intriguing. There is nothing that screams aura on Shaheen, at least in my opinion. Now, one thing I really love about Shaheen is it's fun to play, bro. Like, the cancels in his combos are super fun, right? Canceling his crouch dash. That stuff is fun to me, right? Slide cancels, crouch dash cancels. It's fun. I think they've done a good job of making him a bit more fun to play in Tekken 8, because dude, this guy in Tekken 7 was actual ass cheeks. They basically got almost every generic tool, like a down forward 1, a down forward 2, a hop kick, and just put all that shit on one character. But now he has a bit more of an identity, right? Focusing more on the slide mix-ups, the guard breaks whilst he is in hit, right? Full crouch mix-up, guard breaks, all that stuff. He's a bit better in this game, right? Gameplay-wise. But outside of that, it's just still the same. His personality is not that great. His story is not that great. Shaheen just does not scream, whoa. You know, when you see Shaheen, you're like, okay. You know, seen that, been there, done that. It's a Rashid or Timo Rashid. You know, I don't know what they can do about Shaheen, but like, he's strong. He feels fun to play. IMO. But outside of that, there's just nothing, bro. There is just nothing. I don't feel aura on this character. Maybe it's just me, but hey, at the end of the day, the numbers are speaking right now, and he's at the bottom of the list. And nothing has changed since Tekken 7. Even after his introduction back into 7, he wasn't as popular in that game either. So Shaheen needs a massive overhaul in terms of personality, and maybe that's what would make the character a bit more popular. Maybe more flashy moves. He has good stuff like forward back 2. Which is pretty good, you know. Forward for 3, the skateboard has some good aura on it, you know. But outside of that, there's not much on our boy. There's not much, so it makes sense as why Shaheen is at the bottom of the list as well. He needs a buff on his aura, bro. He needs the aura buff. Okay, so right above Shaheen, we have Zafina as the second most unpopular character in Tekken 8. Zafina is honestly one of the better designed female characters in the game. I think she is my second favorite female character after Reina. Now the problem is, look, she's fine. First of all, let's get that out of the way. Zafina fine as fuck, bro. Sheesh, bro, she got that dumpy. She fine, bro. She's so fine. That out of the way. So the thing about Zafina is, first of all, she's a weird character. Okay, when people see shit like this, they'll stay away. They'll say, okay, what the fuck is this character doing? I won't play this character. Okay, so at first glance, people will think she's weird. She's very unorthodox to play, so they won't pick her up. Okay, that's one of the biggest, I think the biggest reasons why she's this unpopular. Okay, she's very complicated. She looks weird at first glance. And a beginner player just can't match with Zafina as well. When new players pick up a new character, the first thing they'll do is mash and see what the character has to offer when they mash. In Zafina, you won't be able to mash because she'll be doing stances where you'll be like, oh shit, what do I do in this stance? Oh shit, what the hell is this character doing? Okay, she's too complicated. I can't play this character. Boom, character select, quit, right? That's the thing with Zafina. And a lot of stance characters for that matter as well. And I think that fact alone is why she's this unpopular. As well as a story mode, I spoke about how Claudio having an L storyline has affected the character in terms of numbers. I think that applies to Zafina as well. Zafina, just like Claudio, had an ass storyline, bro. A bit better, but like they both held super L's, and no one really just gave a shit about both of these characters. No one paid attention to them. And that has affected her popularity numbers, at least that's what I think. But overall, honestly, I think it's mostly because of how she plays and how she looks. Not a beginner-friendly character. Very difficult to pick up and just get into. Nah, see what I did there. Yeah, but I do love Zafina, but I just don't see myself playing her like that. You know, because she's not my kind of playstyle, to be honest with you. But I love her design. I love the way she looks. I think just how she plays is what most people are just not into. But all in all, very awesome character. I still think we need characters like this in the game, and I hope she stays in the foreseeable future of future Tekken games, because yeah, we do need unorthodox, weird characters like this. Make the roster a bit more interesting. Now boys, I won't lie to you, I don't really understand why Claudio is this unpopular. Honestly, his design is great in my opinion. Now maybe it's a bit generic in a sense that he looks like a Soul Calibur character. He looks like a Final Fantasy character. You know, it's not a crazy design, but it's not a mid design either. You know what I mean, right? It's not so crazy, but it's not mid either. So honestly, I would expect to see Claudio somewhere in the middle of the bunch in terms of character popularity. So for me, this one doesn't really add up. Now, Claudio was introduced back in Tekken 7, and he had a bit of screen time in the Tekken 8, in the Tekken 7 storyline, meeting Heihachi, the Seraphinos, the Exorcists, and all that jazz. They had quite a decent role to play in the storyline. Maybe not as much in Tekken 7 as in Tekken 8, but outside of that, I don't understand why he's this low. Now in Tekken 8, obviously he caught massive L's in the storyline, like Claudio and Zafina in the story were like actually bad, bro. Like being a Claudio main and a Zafina main, watching that storyline, oh my days. Massive L's. So maybe that might have affected their popularity in general. Claudio more so than Zafina. So I don't understand, right? He's an alright design character, very basic moveset, very easy to pick up. He does have cool stuff, running too. He does have the bow, pretty sick Punisher. But outside of that, there isn't really much in terms of pizzazz or aura with Claudio. This one, boys, I'm a bit unsure. I'm sure you can tell. I'm a bit unsure on why Claudio is this low. I would say the story is what has really affected him that much, being this slow. He caught too many L's in the storyline, bro. Mans needed some dubs. He got his ass handed to him by Kazuya. So maybe he needs a massive W, more screen time to make the popularity, to make him rise up in popularity numbers. We start with Lars, right? Lars had really good screen time in the Tekken storyline. Bro had a massive standoff with Kaz, but that shit was sick as fuck. Watching that as a Lars main, oh my days. It felt so good getting that screen time. So maybe that's what Claudio needs as well. Maybe that will help him in terms of popularity. But as of now, yeah, boy is not doing too good in terms of popularity numbers. Next up, we have Leroy, my boy, one of my mains. This one I've talked about quite a few times, bro. Leroy being this low in popularity is still crazy to me. I just don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Everyone loves martial arts, pure hand to hand. Leroy is that. Yes, he does have the cane, but like that's like a once per match kind of move, guys. Once per match, and it's not a gun, it's not a sword, it's a cane, right? So that already for me is like, okay, why? You complain about these weapon characters, the Victors, the Clives, the Noctises, but like with Leroy, who uses a cane once per match, it's like, okay, you don't like Leroy, Obviously, I main Leroy, so I'm a bit more biased on his character, but like there are a lot of other factors that affect his popularity other than just that. We all know about the sins of Leroy back in Tekken 7, Leroy Japan, perhaps one of the most broken character in Tekken history at launch. This character was fucking insane at launch, and people hated Leroy. He terrorized Tekken 7 ranked. He was insane. So people just hated this character, and even after all the nerfs, he still stayed strong, and no one just played him in Tekken 7. Even in Tekken 7 popularity, he's still in the bottom 5, if you check out the numbers right now. And it seems he's still paying for those sins, bro. People just are not playing Leroy. I think he's strong in Tekken 8. Obviously, everyone is strong, but like, I think Leroy is very strong in this game, but still, no one really is repping Leroy in ranked. You rarely. I think throughout my lifespan in Tekken 8, I've only run into Leroy about 4 times, bro. I can count. Since last year, January, I've met like 4 Leroys max in ranked, which is insane, because I think Leroy is cool, of course, Wing Chun. If you've seen Ip Man or Ip Man or IP Man, however you pronounce it, movie was sick, represented Wing Chun in a very good way. And for that alone, you'd think, okay, people would love to play more Leroy, play the character a bit more. But I guess not. People are still pissed about how he came in Tekken 7. People say he's not fun as well, or at least most people say that, but I don't know about that, bro. Fun, at the end of the day, is subjective. So what you find fun will be different from what someone else finds fun. And for me, this shit, players hit, put him on block real quick. This shit, is fun to me. Okay, this is mad fun to me. So again, fun is subjective, but all in all, Yeah, I think Leroy mostly is just paying for the sins of his Tekken 7 launch. People are still not over that. And I think people are also a bit disappointed on how he played in terms of execution. He turned out to be a very easy character to pilot, very easy and very strong. People don't really like that, or at least at the highest of level, right? Having some execution like Mishima's, that's why they're so popular, because the satisfaction you get from learning how to EWGF is second to none. And if a character does not have something like that, people just don't like that. Some kind of, execution barrier or mastery, right? Something you can do that someone can't do. You know how to do EWGF, you feel good about it. But Leroy does not have anything like that. Does not have like a high skill ceiling, basically. And I think that also affects the character in a sense. Relatively new character as well, so people just want to drop their actual mains and pick up a new main. But all in all, I still don't get why he's this slow. Honestly, I still think Leroy has a lot going on for him to make him a bit more popular than he currently is right now in the game. So yeah, it sucked seeing my boy right now, but hey, I freaking love this character. I will not drop Leroy. He's sick, bro. He's sick to me, and I've always been the character. But all in all, yeah, Leroy also makes it to the bottom 5 of the most unpopular characters in Tekken 8 Ranked. And lastly, we have my boy Raven. Raven. Now, Raven is kind of similar in a sense with Zafina, that he's very unorthodox, right? The back turn stuff, crouch dash stuff. So a new player would pick him up and say, oh dude, right? A ninja character, because ninja archetypes are very popular in fighting games. But when a ninja is very difficult to pick up, people will just drop him. Just like Zafina, they'll pick up Raven and mash buttons. And he is not mash friendly, bro. You'll be doing back turn stuff, you start getting destroyed in back turn, crouch dash stuff, so they'll pick up the character, man, this character is boring, or not seeing anything flashy, because nothing flashy comes out of Raven from mashing, right? It's not like a Hwarang or an Eddie where they'll be flipping all over the place. Yeah, Raven and Zaf don't have that. Raven's cool stuff comes, you actually know what the character does, right? So new players will drop this character. Then in terms of personality as well, Raven's personality is ass as well. Not as bad as Shaheen, but not great either, right? I think his personality needs work as well. Over here, that's my shadow. Even his voice lines, the Tekken storyline are just very, very bland, bro. There is no oomph to it. He needs a bit more pizzazz, especially for a ninja character, bro. You'd expect a ninja character to have one of the best personalities in the game, but Raven just falls short. Doesn't give off anything interesting. It's like, he's a ninja character and that's it. So I think that also affects the character. And yeah, I think those are the two main factors as to why he is this unpopular. He just needs a bit more in terms of personality, and that's all. But just like Zafina, I do feel as though we need these kinds of characters on the roster to keep the roster a bit more interesting. Not every character has to be played, like top 10 or top 5 to be on the roster, right? Even unpopular characters are needed just to keep the roster a bit more flavorful, to cater for those niche players that love characters like this. Like me, bro. I love the shit out of Raven. I still think he's the coolest character in the fucking game. Free, bro. Ain't no one doing shit like this, bro. Ain't no one doing shit like this. Just no one. Alright, so to me, I think he's the coolest character in the game. We will see when Armor King drops, but like, I don't see myself dropping my boy anytime soon. I think for me, I'm set as Raven being my main. He is just so fucking cool. He's just so fucking cool to me. So yeah, it just makes sense as to why he's just slow as well. Not a very easy character to pick up, to mash buttons. Personality is kinda ass, but outside of that, again, we do need these kinds of characters on the roster. So there you have it, boys, the top 5, or at least the top 7 most unpopular characters in Tekken 8 Ranked. How do you feel about these characters? Do any of y'all main any of these characters mentioned? What would you give the reason as to why these characters are this unpopular, and what do you think would help them actually improve in terms of character popularity in Ranked? At the end of the day, it's a roster, and the roster will always have unpopular and popular characters. So let me hear your thoughts, boys. The floor is yours. Thank you so much as usual for taking time to watch this video. If you've made this far, please don't forget to that like button, subscribe if you're new, And as usual, gang, may the frame be ever in your favor. GG.